Hey guys, so someone recently asked me, can you get well-made wine for $50 or $25? And I said, yeah, you can get very well-made wine. It depends where it's from, Argentina, Chile, California. And they're like, California, Napa Cabernet's good cab's $50, $100 a bottle. And you can get very well-made wine for $25. And you can get some of the best wine in the world for $25. You can get a top 10 wine in this category. This is probably one of the best. And you don't have to spend that much money. And what is it? It's Zinfandel. Why is Zinfandel less expensive than Cabernet? Cabernet per ton is more expensive than Zinfandel. Wine journalists give Cabernet 95, 97, 100 points. Same with Bordeaux. Why is that? Because Cabernet expresses terroir. And when you have a great varietal that expresses place, you can kind of judge how well the wine is made by how well it expresses the minerality from the soils. Zinfandel tastes like Zinfandel, but that's not bad because Zinfandel is really good. But we know that unless it's Primitivo, it's from California, and whether it's from Lodi, Paso Robles, or if it's from where this is from, which is Dry Creek Valley in Sonoma, a lot of it tastes very similar. And since it doesn't express the terroir as much as Cabernet or Bordeaux, it doesn't get as high as ratings. This is a pretty high rated wine. I think most people give it 91, 92, 93 points, a lot of the wine reviewers and journalists and websites and stuff. But Zinfandel, you'll rarely see a Zinfandel that gets more than 94 points because it doesn't express terroir. And so Cabernet and Bordeaux are more popular. This is a Zinfandel blend. This wine I drank already, but is about this color. It's very dark because it has Petit Syrah in it, and I believe one other varietal. So I'll just tell you a little bit about. Okay, first of all, Jeb Dunnick, James Suckling, I think they all have lists on their websites of some of the best Zinfandel. You'll hear Bedrock, Turley, and Ridge. Ridge is famous. They make Montebello Cabernet, which is $250 a bottle. They're world famous for making wines. They make a lot of Zinfandel. Ridge makes Geyserville and Lytton Springs, which are both about $40, $50. Turley makes some good ones, Bedrock, and they're $40 to $50. You will see this wine right here pop up on those lists next to those $40, $50 Zins, and this wine's only $25, and it's very comparable. It's very well made. So I'm just going to keep this video below, try to keep it below 6 or 7 minutes. I'm going to give you a little rundown on who makes this wine, where it's made, what you can expect from Zinfandel, and what you get out of this bottle for 25 bucks. So if you don't have a ton of money to spend and you want to drink a bottle of wine that's well made, that's a family-owned production. It says old vines. It's a little misleading because they've taken vines that are over 100 years old and grafted them and replanted, and then after a couple years got grapes off those vines. So when you see that it says vines that are over 100 years old, you picture these are really old vines, but they were grafts from older vines. They have an old vine, which is like 40 bucks. This one has the grafts from the older vines, but it's still really good. So the producers of this are in Dry Creek, Sonoma, which is a great, the weather, the temperature, the soil, it's a great place to grow Zinfandel. A lot of good Zinfandels come out of there, and this is one of them. Dry Creek Valley makes a lot of good wine. This is a Heritage Vine Zinfandel Dry Creek Vineyards. They were one of the earlier producers in that area, which is why it just says Dry Creek. A lot of the other producers have Dry Creek, but their winery is actually Dry Creek because they were one of the first ones there. It's family owned. A lot of their wines are not super expensive. And part of that is because they specialize in varietals that are not as expensive. This is a great wine. So this wine gives you what you would expect from Zinfandel. The acidity and the tannins are in balance. They're not offensive. The tannins aren't overly grippy. You can drink it right out of the bottle. It's a beautiful color. The wine looks beautiful. And the aromas, you get these brambly, kind of spicy, peppery notes. And you get, from the Petit Syrah, you get darker, meatier, meatier, savory notes with the Zinfandel, which gives you the light fruit like cranberry. And then the Petit Syrah provides darker fruit notes and those savory notes. So this wine is bright, it's acidic, it's juicy, and it's really shockingly complex for a wine that you can get sometimes on sale at your local supermarket for $24. On the nose, you get floral notes, you get pepper, you get savory notes, you get earthy notes, leather, cedar box. This spends, I believe, 15 months, I think is what the website said, in Hungarian oak and French oak, 25% new oak, if I remember. But they went ahead and splurged, and it's Hungarian and French oak. So you get that cedar box from the French oak. You get all those different aromas on the nose, and then on the palate, when you taste it, you get the light fruit, you get the dark fruit, you get the leather, you get the savoriness from the Petit Syrah. There's that meaty, savory, earthy kind of component, and the pepper and the brambleberry kind of. When you hear the word bramble, it's a dark. You get that dark fruit, but you get kind of like that spicy fruit, which Zinfandel's got that spice, and this really does. But when I remember when I first drank this wine, I was really surprised at how complex the aromas were. That you got floral notes, meaty notes, earthy notes, peppery, spicy notes, and light and dark fruit, all from a wine that's $25. It doesn't have the cachet kind of Cabernet or Bordeaux. It is Zinfandel. This has Petit Syrah on it, so when you dump it out, I'm drinking this right now, I'll do a video on this wine too. $15 from Lodi. This is a great wine. But this wine, like this one, it's very dark like this. It looks like Cabernet when you pour it out. If you're in college, if you don't have deep pocketbooks, or you're like me and you just like to drink a wine sometimes that doesn't cost $100 for a bottle, this is $24 a bottle, and this is well-made wine. This is juicy, savory, family-owned. Love has been put into this bottle. They take their craft very seriously. This is a well-made bottle of wine for $25. So go out and buy it. All right, guys, I'm going to keep the video that short. I'm somewhere different. I swear I have other hats besides this one. This is my favorite hat right now. I have other hats that I wear, I promise, and other shirts. Anyway, go buy this wine. Thanks for being with me, guys.